double declining balance method of depreciation. It's basically just basically a way of depreciating. They go through a long explanation in the textbook as to like why one would want to use this. It's worth looking at, but the main idea is to make sure you know how to do it, not necessarily all the reasons why behind it would need to be done. But it might be worth something for you to look into to see like why would you want to do things this way. But if you're using this particular method of depreciation, V of n denotes the book value of an asset at the end of n years. Then the terms C, the original cost, V1, V2, Vn form a geometric progression with first term C and common ratio 1 minus 2 over capital N. The double declining balance method of depreciation usually is a depreciation model that can only be set for a finite amount of time. So, usually after you use that, you go to another method of depreciation. So, usually you define it for a certain period of time, and then you usually use another depreciation method, as you go along with that. So basically the nth term, Vn, is given by this formula. So you have the formula Vn equals C times 1 minus 2 over capital N raised to the n power, where little n, lowercase n, is between 1 and capital N. So oftentimes you're going to say, we're applying this method for depreciation for X amount of time, and you're going to be looking for the book value at some term between those times. Also, D of n denotes the amount by which the asset has been depreciated by the end of the nth year. Again, they're giving you another formula that you really don't need to have. And the reason being for that is that, basically, if you know what the starting amount was, what it was originally worth, and you know what it is now, you don't need an extra formula to calculate, how much it's depreciated, because just take a difference. So you're going to notice I do not use this second formula at all. It's again one of those circumstances that your textbook just loves to have, and that's by giving you more formulas than you actually need. If you want to memorize the formula, you're more than welcome to do that, but I'm not going to use it because this first formula, it's enough. And so when I ask this question here, a restaurant's equipment is purchased at a cost of $150,000, is to be depreciated by the double declining balance method over 10 years. What is the book value of the equipment at the end of 6 years? By what amount has the equipment been depreciated at the end of the 6th year? So there's two questions here. So the first part, what's the book value of the equipment at the end of 6 years? I'm just going to calculate V of 6. I'm just going to plug the numbers in. 150,000 worth right now. Capital N is 10 because that's how long we're going to be applying this method. We're looking for what's going on at year 6. So pretty straightforward. When I calculate this out, I get $39,321.60. So if I'm using this method of depreciation, the equipment that I bought for $150,000 6 years later has a book value of $39,321.60. The second question is asking by what amount has the equipment been depreciated at the end of the 6th year. Now again, they give you that formula that I crossed out over there, but I really don't need it because the depreciation is just going to be 150,000 minus V of 6. So if I do 150,000 minus $39,321.60, I end up with $110,678.40. So that means the equipment depreciated by that amount, the $110,678.40, I didn't get the 40 cents down there, at the end of the 6th year.